What's up everybody, my name is BVMSerious and welcome back to another Pokemon Go video. Today is Community Day for Pokemon's OG tadpole, Poliwag. Before we go any further into the contents of today's video, I want to take this time right now to say that if you're brand new to this channel and you want to see more stuff like this in the near future, then please consider hitting that subscribe button down below. Also be sure to hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any new future content from this channel. But anyways, with that being said, let's get right into it. So aside from the increased spawn and shiny rates of Poliwag, as well as the typical 3-hour incense and lures, candy bonuses, and trade bonuses, we also have 1/4 incubator distance as the other main bonus for this event. So this is the perfect opportunity for you to be throwing your 7-kilometer eggs into incubators, especially while it's still Adventure Week, for your chance of getting a shiny Tyrant or Amara, or even just hatch regular eggs for that chance of hatching the rare and elusive Larvesta. But anyways, staying on topic with Community Day, any Poliwag fully evolved up into either Poliwrath or Politoed during the 3-hour event, plus up to 5 hours after, will learn the following moves. Poliwrath will learn the special fighting type fast move Counter, and Politoed will learn the special ice type charge move, Ice Beam. So Counter for Poliwrath is a huge deal, especially for the PvP aspect of the game. Ice Beam for Politoed, not so much, but I will explain both of these closer to the end of the video. However, do keep in mind that you do require a King's Rock to evolve Politoed, but thankfully there is a timed research available that will award King's Rocks for the purposes of being able to do so. And if that's not enough, then there's also Pokestop tasks that will also award King's Rocks. There's also stickers and bundles that you can get in the shop during the Community Day. And there is also a special research that you can get for 99 cents or whatever that equivalent is in your country's currency, called Slippery Swirls, that awards a few Poliwag encounters, including one encounter with a Poliwhirl and a Politoed and a Poliwrath at the end. So depending on what you're going for, this may or may not be worth it to you. And if you use the Go Snapshot functionality, you can actually get up to 5 free encounters with Poliwag, and this could be very good, especially if you're in an area where there's not a lot of spawns around you, or if you're confined to an area where you can't really move around much at all. And last but not least, after the 3-hour event is over, Poliwhirl will be appearing in special Tier 4 raids, and if you do manage to take it down, then Poliwag will spawn around the gym that hosted the raid within a 300-meter radius for the next 30 minutes, and these Poliwag will have the same shiny rate as those that appeared during the 3-hour event. Also, do keep in mind in regards to this that you cannot use remote raid passes, and therefore these must be challenged in person. But anyways, now that we have all the important details out of the way, let's get right into the game. So we are now in the game, and there is an abundance of Poliwag here, so we're going to be catching each and every one of them. I'm really not too concerned about shinies, since I've actually gotten the whole shiny family even before this Community Day started. I can't remember how I got a couple of them, but I do know that there were some that I actually got during the Liverpool Safari Zone, as well as its rescheduled event back in 2020 and 2021 respectively. So in terms of shinies, I'm all squared away, so really it's just a matter of getting a Poliwrath with Counter and at least one Politoed with Ice Beam. But I'm also just looking for the PvP IVs. I could use a better Poliwrath and Politoed than what I've already got right now. So, but hey, if I get like a shiny with like either really good PvP IVs or even like a Shundo, then I know in no means am I complaining. Like, that would be really awesome. But yeah, we're really just catching Poliwags, and we're also just doing the 99-cent special research that I just got in the shop here. Alright, before I actually dived into the research, I actually forgot. I told someone I was going to open up their gift at 2 o'clock, so I finally did that, and there we go. I just benefited from boosted XP for hitting Ultra Friends with them. But anyways, now getting back into the research, we have make 5 nice throws, which I only just need one more, catch 15 Poliwag, and power up a Pokemon 10 times, which I'm actually going to be trying to figure out here in a moment what Pokemon I'm going to be powering up for this. Oh, here we go. So we just got a shiny Poliwag here on screen. In case you're wondering what it actually looks like, this is basically what it looks like. It's a lighter blue. It's not a whole lot different than the ordinary Poliwag, but it's still pretty noticeable. But since, like I said, since I already have the shiny family, I'm not too concerned about catching it, so I'm just going to be stepping down to a Pineapple and just a Great Ball. So for the power up of Pokemon 10 times task, I'm actually going to go ahead and power up this Shadow Alolan Sandslash that I have here. Unfortunately, we won't be able to power it up 10 times because otherwise it'll go over the CP limit for Great League. Because Alolan Sandslash, now that it has access to Drill Run, is really good, and it's actually very viable now in the Open League, more so than any of the specialty cups. So that is why I'm actually powering up this Alolan Sandslash here, so that I can start using it in Open Great League. Once again, I'm going to continue focusing on this Kyogre that I have here with Origin Pulse, because again, Kyogre is just such a good water type Pokemon. And because again, it's also got Origin Pulse, and I'm going to keep it that way. So there's our Power Pokemon 10 times done. And I think this is the last Poliwag I need to catch to move on to the next set. So we're going to catch that. And yep, we are officially done with the first set there. We're now claiming our Poliwag here from the research. Unfortunately, this first one is not shiny. Let's see if we can get the second one to be shiny or not. Okay, the second one is not shiny, unfortunately, but we are catching it. So getting into the second set of the research, we have transfer 10 Pokemon, catch another 15 Poliwag, and evolve 3 Poliwag. And we are once again back here at the pavilion for this community day. We'll probably be headed up to All Park here in a bit. But figured we'd all just start out here at the pavilion, because this shopping center is a really nice ideal area for spawns, because there are a lot of Pokemon that just spawn here, making it very ideal for community day. Alright, so I've just now completed the second set of the research, so I will now claim all of these, and then let's see if this Poliwag here is going to be shiny or not. It is not, unfortunately. Alright, but this one? No, it's not either. Alright, getting into the third set of the research here, we have catch another 15 Poliwag, evolve 2 Poliwhirl, and make 3 great curveball throws. So actually, speaking of evolving 2 Poliwhirl, I actually did not realize this, but apparently it actually shows how many King's Rocks in this little menu here that I actually have. It didn't always used to, but I think this is actually kind of a nice little feature. Alright, so me and my dad are officially here at All Park once again for Community Day, and I actually evolved both of my Poliwhirls already into Poliwrath and Politoed respectively, so I'm now going to go ahead and claim this research. There's actually another reason I'm actually here at All Park today, and I'll actually show you guys why in just a few moments, but we're going to continue working on the research here. We did get another Poliwag. It's not shiny, but it is better than the one that I just got out of the research, or like the better one, I mean. So we're going to go ahead and catch that. But now I will now go ahead and claim the third set here, get some Stardust, a Rocket Radar, and then get the Poliwhirl that I mentioned. And now moving into the fourth set, everything is automatically completed, so we will claim all the rewards, and I think this is the Politoed encounter. Yeah, okay, this is the Politoed encounter. So we will catch the Politoed and then claim the Poliwrath at the end. Alright, well, first ball, we got the Politoed. Hopefully this is decent IVs. Okay, 91%, that's actually not bad. Let's hope the Poliwrath is just as good. Alright, Poliwrath here. Now let's go ahead and catch this. Oh, first ball also. Alright. Oh, I wish I had this kind of luck on some of the last ones that I've caught. Alright, let's see. Not bad. I'd say this is about 87. It's better than most of the other final research encounters I've gotten, without a doubt. So anyways, that is pretty much it for the Slippery Swirls research. And we're just going to be spending the rest of the day just doing general shiny checking and also going for those PvP IVs. So aside from shiny checking Poliwags and going for PvP IVs, the other reason I came up here to All Park is because of a brand new feature that was released recently called Routes, which basically is like something that's basically player created. You start from like one point and then you end at like point B, and the whole point is you basically follow like a little route like I'm doing right now. So you see like on my map there's like a little blue trail here, and there's like the rest of the trail is all gray because I haven't walked it yet. And the whole point is like I have to stay within like 40 meters of this trail, but if I either deviate a bit too far from it or I stop, then it'll pause the route and then I have to resume it in order to continue. And the whole point of these routes is that I think as far as I know I can actually get like like increased speed on getting candy from my buddy if I'm on the trail. And there's also a chance of getting what's called a Zygarde cell, because alongside routes we have now gotten access to the new Gen 6 legendary Pokemon Zygarde. And with Zygarde cells you can actually turn your Zygarde into either the 50% form or the complete form. And that is actually why we're doing this right now. So, and there's also a chance you can actually get regional Pokemon, and obviously not just any regional Pokemon, it can only be the ones that are located in your area. So for example, since I'm here in the US, I can't just find a Chatot wandering along these trails. So a little unfortunate, but it's still a really nice feature nonetheless. So alright, so jumping ahead in time here, I actually had a very nice productive day over at All Park. We actually completed a couple routes there, and we also did a couple other routes in other places as well. And I actually ended up getting a Zygarde cell out of it. So all told, I actually have about 2 Zygarde cells. And we actually came across another Pokemon Go player that was at All Park as well for the same reason that we were. Not only just for Community Day, but also for the routes. The person had actually told me that he's done like so many routes, I think like 40 of them or something he said, and he's only came out with like a few Zygarde cells. So it kind of goes to show just how rare they are. Since Poliwag Community Day is actually now officially behind us, it is now time for me to offer my personal analysis on both Poliwrath and Politoed and their overall performances in Pokemon Go, and what exactly their brand new moves will do for them. But before we actually get to that, I want to talk about the raid aspect of both of these Pokemon really quick. Because unfortunately, they're really not the best water type Pokemon to be using, and let's face it, there are better options for water types that you can be using. Things like Kyogre, especially Primal Kyogre, all the Hydro Cannon users, Kingler, and even Gyarados are far better water type Pokemon that you could be using other than Poliwrath and Politoed. Now, I will say that Poliwrath, even though it has access to counter now, makes it definitely a better fighting type Pokemon, but it's still not nearly as good as other Pokemon of the fighting type like Machamp, Lucario, Conkeldurr, or even the Swords of Justice. So these are going to be your far better options than Poliwrath, but now that it has access to counter, it's really not the worst option. So you could probably still use Poliwrath if you don't have access to any of these. But anyways, now let's go on ahead and talk about the PvP aspect of both of these Pokemon, starting off with Poliwrath and Counter. Now, let's get this right straight away. Counter on Poliwrath is a huge, and I mean a hugely phenomenal game changer for Poliwrath. Because now that it has access to this amazing fighting type fast move, it's now going to be able to better handle the threats of Pokemon like Bastiodon, Galarian Stunfisk, and even Registeel, and pretty much any other Pokemon that's weak to fighting type moves. And for the longest time, Poliwrath has been operating very well with the fast move of Mudshot because of the really high energy gain that you get from this move, allowing it to get to those charge moves very quickly. But now that it has access to counter, yes, it does have less energy gain than Mudshot does. It only has 7 energy gain per every second, whereas Mudshot gives you 9 energy every second. But on top of that, counter actually has a base damage of 8 plus an additional 20% because of the fact that counter is a fighting type move and Poliwrath is a fighting type Pokemon, so Poliwrath benefits from the same type attack bonus with this fast move. Whereas Mudshot only has a base damage of 3 and is a ground type move, so Poliwrath really does not benefit much from this move. So based off of the PvPoke rankings, Poliwrath is now so much better than what it used to be before I had counter. And now that it has access to this move, it's so much better. And not only that, but Poliwrath has a really nice array of charge moves in its arsenal. It's got access to Power Punch, allowing you to increase your attack by 1 stage. You also have access to the water type charge move of Scald, which also has a chance to lower your opponent's attack by 1 stage. And Poliwrath even has access to Ice Punch, which allows it to better cover its weakness to flyers. And if you just want a really nice fighting type charge move for just that raw, powerful fighting type damage, then Dynamic Punch is also a really good move for Poliwrath. But when it comes to both the Great League and Ultra League, Poliwrath with the moveset of Counter, Scald, and Ice Punch is a really good moveset for this Pokemon. Now apparently a Shadow Poliwrath for the Great League on PvPoke.com, it does suggest Power Up Punch instead of Scald, which I think I can kind of see it. It kind of makes sense probably because of the raw shadow damage that you're getting from both of these moves combined. I can definitely see how that would definitely make Poliwrath better. But like I said, now that Poliwrath has access to counter, this makes a world of difference in the Go Battle League aspect for this Pokemon. Now getting into Politoed and Ice Beam. So I actually looked on PvPoke.com for this one, and to my surprise, I did not see Ice Beam listed anywhere for its recommended movesets, which probably means that Politoed with Ice Beam does not make a huge world of difference. Now Politoed does also have access to the Ice-type charge move of Blizzard, which is a little bit more energy demanding, but also does a bit more damage. But if you were to give it Ice Beam instead, yes, you would get to it a bit quicker, but you also do a little less damage. But I feel like in some cases this is not exactly terrible. But again, if I'm not seeing it on PvPoke.com, that probably means it's better to just not run Ice Beam on Politoed at all. So when it comes to Politoed in the Great League, you want to run the moveset of Mudshot, Water Weather Ball, and Earthquake, which is also a legacy move. So just in case if you were wondering, if you really wanted to TM away from Earthquake just to get Ice Beam, do not do it. It is not worth TMing away the legacy move of Earthquake just for Ice Beam. It's just not worth it. And apparently when it comes to the Ultra League, Politoed with Blizzard is definitely better than Ice Beam. And the other thing you gotta take into consideration too is that Politoed does have access to Water Weather Ball, which is not only a nice spammy charge move, but you can also really put pressure on your opponent's shields. So really, Politoed with Blizzard is better than Ice Beam because you can almost instantly delete anything that is weak to Ice type moves, even though Politoed is not an Ice type at all. So needless to say, both of these Pokemon are really useful in their own respect. But if you were to ask me, I would definitely agree that Poliwrath definitely got the better treatment for this community day, hands down. Like, there's literally no contest. Poliwrath with counter is a huge game changer, and this is definitely something that I will be adding to my PvP roster. So anyways, that is pretty much it for Poliwag Community Day. Like I said, I really wasn't concerned with shinies. I was more concerned about PvP IVs. And needless to say, I definitely got some pretty decent ones. I even got a 0-15-15, which is really good for Ultra League. That is definitely going to be what I'm going to be investing in. And yeah, I cannot wait to actually try out Poliwrath for the first time ever in the Go Battle League. It's going to be really exciting, and yeah, hopefully maybe I'll actually start doing more Go Battle League videos in the future. But anyways, on that note, I will go on ahead and I will actually end off this video right here. So anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video and or found it to be helpful in the slightest. And as always, if you did, then please consider hitting that subscribe button down below. Also leave a like and a comment, won't hurt either. But anyways, that is going to be it for me today. I'm BVMSerious, and I hope you guys have a seriously amazing day. Thank you so much for watching.